a lot of the big chidushim that the Rebbe brings in Chassidus. We always bring down things like the Rebbe said. The Rebbe said it. For sure, the Rebbe said it. The Rebbe said everything that's said it in all the other books. But there's plenty of things that are written already in the Zohar. That's just a tip to how to learn a Sikha. Very important. Sometimes we don't know that. It's not so much Moshiach, but I'm going to get to Moshiach in really less than a minute. But we learn a Sikha. The Rebbe's Sikha is made. The Rebbe brings a shaila, let's say, in the parsha. Right? A portion in the parsha, the Rebbe asks a question about. The Rebbe brings answers. The Rebbe brings a lot of times, not always is mentioned in the page itself. Sometimes mentioned in the Ara, who answered the answer. Now, once you learn, so some people, unfortunately, learn the Sikha in such a way, in a very, very dumb way. The Rebbe asks, the Rebbe answers. The Rebbe asks, the Rebbe answers. Then, you don't understand the big chidushim, the revelations the Rebbe is saying in the Sikha. If you understand the Rebbe is asking the question, and then the Shagasari is answering it, and then the Eben Ezra, and then how the Rebbe takes the answer and explains all those explanations together, or comes to a different conclusion, you understand the chidush. That's a very important tip how to learn a Sikha. You have to know how to differentiate between what the Rebbe is saying now and what the Rebbe is bringing down from Zohar, or they're bringing down from a Gemara, or from the Maharsha, or from a different Mefarish. So the Zohar writes that in the time of Moshiach, the Shari HaChochmes, the deep parts of the mind, Shari HaChochmes. What's Chochmah in English? Mind, yeah? Chochmah. Wisdom. The very deep levels of wisdom are going to be revealed. Like we know that in the first generation, many years ago, it was just for Yechidis Gula, just for special people. They had those great revelations of Pnimius HaTorah, of the wisdom of Hashem. Why? Because it was really concealed, it was covered up from all the Jewish nation, and just specific people knew about it. But came a time when Arizal came. Really, we always speak about Baal Shem Tov, but the one that really started it, the beginning, it was a real beginning. It was not. It didn't go as much as the Baal Shem Tov, the Alter Rebbe, but already started from the Arizal. That every single Jew has to learn the secrets of Hashem, the wisdom of Hashem, Chassidus, until it comes to such a state when the Baal Shem Tov says the Kshiafusu Ma'inisecha Achutza, and that's going to bring Moshiach when the Ma'ayonis are going to be spread out in the whole world. And then it comes to such a state that the Alter Rebbe was revealed to us. Alter Rebbe, we just had his Ilula a few days ago. And he says that we have to learn Chassidus in a way of Nisparnesun. That has to be, every mind, every Jew has a mind, has a seichel. And the seichel, like our body needs water to live, the seichel needs wisdom to live. So what wisdom do you have to feed it? You have to feed it godliness, Getlichkeit, Elokus. That's what you have to feel it. Feed it. The question is, we know that in just this generation, the darkness is double darkness. And we are privileged in such a great privilege, in such things that the previous generation did not have a privilege to understand and to know the wisdom of Hashem. Why is that? Even the Tanoim and the Emirayim and all those great sages and rabbis were not privileged with those great Giluim. It's very truthful that one day, many years ago, the Tanoim and Emirayim, they would learn Chassidus from a simple Daf and Gemara. They would see Getlichkeit, see godliness. But in that generation, it was not revealed to the whole generation. It was just to specific people. And later generation, there's a state of Cheshach, Kafel, and Mechupal, darkness, and then every Jew has the Shaychas to Chassidus. Every Jew can learn Chassidus. Not just that. The Rebbe says in the Rav the Sikha, the famous story, the Rebbe, when the Rebbe Hashav goes to Yezeda and asks him, why was God not revealed to me? So the Rebbe, etc., the whole story that happened, the Rebbe learns out a lesson from the Rambam. What does the Rambam say? Rambam says, how do you bring in a kid to be involved in learning Torah? Through nuts and peanuts. The Rebbe says, today, you can tell a kid, you know, by you fulfilling Torah, you're going to get a great revelation of Hashem, a 3-year-old. So we find now that Chassidus is shaykh to everyone. Even a small kid, you can, in his level, explain to him an inyan in Chassidus. That when you do a mitzvah, you bring a gilui lekus. Ad kidei kach, if a kid wants to make a mitzvah, fulfill a mitzvah, because I want a gilui lekus, I want to see God. I want to see Hashem. So how could that be? And that's those generations we have that great revelation. And the same thing we find when it got to Inyan Torah. It says, Kol ma'asha talmid vosik osi lechadesh. Everything that a talmid, a student, is revealing now, already everything was revealed in the times of Moses, Moshe Rabbeinu. If they're already given in the times of Moshe Rabbeinu, so why were they not revealed? Just in those late generations, those big chidushim are revealed. They were given a long time ago. They should be revealed close to the time when it was given. So the answer for that is everything Hashem did everything perfectly in the right time. Torah is Meloshin Haidah. Torah is a daily lesson, to our day-to-day life. From Torah, we have to learn how to serve Hashem and how to light up the world and make the world more pure. And know the reason why our neshama came down to this world. So, Amal, a long time ago, many years ago, the sages, the Tanoim and the Emoiroim and those generations, they did not need that tool, how to overcome the Choshech and be connected to Hashem, because the Oid was much more revealed. There was much more of a Gilui of Oid. But in those generations, there is the Choshech Kafel Mechupal. But together with that, it's not just a Choshech Kafel Mechupal. It's not just such a great light, such a great darkness. The Rebbe says it's even more than that. Ikvus HaMashiach. It's the last generation of exile, the first generation of Moshiach. So Mamele, that is already, we're completing the last things. And like it says, the malach, the mitzvah, the deed, is being named after the one who ends it. Whoever does the last thing. Even though it's nanos al gabei anof, the Rebbe says, it's like a small, what's nanos? A small, someone small. Not a toddler. A midget. A midget on a giant. Our generation is a midget on a giant. So really, whose backs are we standing on? On the giant. But who is bringing the makeh patish? Who's bringing the hammer on the table that's going to put in the last screw? Yeah, like always when the Chabad houses have a Chanukah Sabais, and they have a new Chabad house. So the guy comes and he takes off the picture. He takes off the sign where it says who donated it. Now the building already. Now you can start using the building. He didn't do anything. He really did, because he gave all the money to do everything. But everything goes on that last thing that the man does. Everything is named after him. Everything goes after that same man, and from now you can start using the building. So it comes out that this generation Mashiach has to come. But in this generation, the greatest darkness, terrible darkness. So it comes out that the Eibishter is a Torah Meloshin Yirah. A Torah is a daily lesson how to serve Hashem in this world. But at the same time, what does that mean? The Eibishter does not give you something you're not going to succeed with. The Eibishter would give it to you if you have the koyach and the power and the tools to succeed and to overcome that problem. So because our job is to bring Mashiach, we were privileged to get the greatest revelations of Pnimius HaTorah, the wisdom of Hashem. And not just that, the Baal Shem Tov's days, the Arizal's days, you see the Arizal's books. Everything's written very much in a very mystical way, a very, very upper level way. You come to Chassidus, and starting from the Alter Rebbe, and going down to the Baal Shem, the Rambam of Teres Chassidus. The Rebbe says, the Rebbe in Shmas Eid, the Rebbe Rashab, he is the Rambam of Teres Chassidus. He writes Chassidus, the wisdom of Hashem, like it's the Jewish law. With masholim, examples, exactly how everything is supposed to work. So those people who learn Samach Vav, or other Sheikhim from the Rebbe Rashab, you can see how everything is really set in a very, very neat way to know exactly how the world was created and how does the world create the world on every moment and moment. So Mele, through having that tfisa, catching those godliness things, we have the tools how to overcome that Choshech Kafel Mechupa. We have a much, much greater light than the previous generations. And the reason for that is because we have a much greater darkness. So Mele, we have a schus, we have a privilege, and we have a chayva, we have a commitment. And the Rebbe used to say always a lot of times, Gula Mashiach, it has two things. Number one, to learn about what's going to be when Mashiach comes. And another thing is, besides to learn about it, also by sitting together, waking up and taka thinking about it, and taka remembering here the schus we have and the choiva we have, the commitment we have, that we really have to, it's not okay. We don't. You hear from Bachim sometimes I enjoy learning much more Chassidus. Why is that? Why? Because it's Hebrew, it's not Aramaic, or because you can get like all the explanation books today on Chassidus. Like, some people can say even the Rebbe's Ma'amarim are so easy. It's letter by letter, and every few lines is a paragraph for itself. The Rebbe's Torah is very, very hard. Chassidus Bichlal is very, very hard. I'm not coming to bring how hard it is and that we should don't give up, but it's not something we can learn like, we can finish the day with it. It's something we have to put our life into it. And if we are inganten into it, that's our life, and that's what we're thinking about. It will bring to different ma'asim appeal. It will bring to different living of life. But we have to really not fool ourselves and understand every word we learn. And when we're learning Tanya about the Bein and the end, it's not simple stuff. We really have to put ourselves to it and to understand it, because that's the weapon, that's the tool, how we're going to bring Mashiach now.